This week in Washington, Democrats are accusing President Donald Trump of encouraging political violence after he called 6 Democrat lawmakers seditious, traitors, and noted that sedition is punishable by death. But here's what the media is not telling you. These same lawmakers just released a video telling the U.S. military to refuse orders from their commander-in-chief.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal.
So before you buy the headlines, let's talk about what they said, what Trump said, and why the Democrats are now sounding an alarm about political violence. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Joey Hudson, bringing you the no-spin truth, the conservative analysis, and the context the mainstream media refuses to offer. If you're new here, hit subscribe, tap that bell, and let's get right into it. Roll the tape. Washington hit another boiling point this week, and once again, it all centers around the same 2 ingredients. Politicians playing with matches and a country soaked in political gasoline, and those two just do not mix well. Democrat leaders Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries held an emergency press conference warning that President Trump's latest Truth Social posts were going to, and I'm quoting here, encourage political violence. Mr. Schumer even went as far as saying Trump was calling for the execution of elected officials. Now, let's just slow down here for a minute. What set all of this off? It wasn't some random comment or an idle joke. It was a video, a viral video featuring 6 Democrat lawmakers telling members of the U.S. military and intelligence community to refuse the orders from their commander-in-chief if they felt those orders were illegal. Now, that is a serious situation, folks, and it came right as Congress is grilling the administration over its strikes on narco-terror vessels in the Caribbean and the National Guard deployments into blue cities dealing with migrant crime. So President Trump responds the way President Trump responds. Blunt, online, unfiltered, calling the lawmakers seditious and traitors. Now, that's nothing new. He's used those terms before. But then he upped the language. He upped the ante, saying and reminding people that sedition is punishable by death, which is technically true. It's on the books. And that sent Democrats sprinting to the microphones. Chuck Schumer took to the Senate floor, gave one of the most fiery speeches we've heard from him in years. He said Trump is lighting a match in a country already drenched in fuel. He said Trump is explicitly calling for the execution of elected officials. Here's Chuck Schumer.
Earlier today, Donald Trump shared a post on Truth Social calling for Democratic members of Congress to be hanged. He also posted a message that said, seditious behavior, punishable by death. Let's be crystal clear. The President of the United States is calling for the execution of elected officials. This is an outright threat, and it's deadly serious. We have already seen what happens when Donald Trump tells his followers that his political opponents are enemies of the state. Every time Donald Trump posts things like this, he makes political violence more likely. None of us should tolerate this kind of behavior. We all remember what January 6th was like. We lived through January 6th. We have lived through the assassination and attempted assassinations this year. We have members whose families have had to flee their homes. When Donald Trump uses the language of execution and treason, some of his supporters may very well listen. He is lighting a match in a country soaked with political gasoline.
Now, Hakeem Jeffries released a statement calling the post disgusting, dangerous, and unhinged. And he went a step further, saying he's been in touch with Capitol Police and the Sergeant-at-Arms to protect the lawmakers and their families. Now, look, we all want cooler heads. We all want civility. We all want political violence to decline in this country. But here's the part that Mr. Schumer and Mr. Jeffries did not mention. The entire firestorm began because 6 Democrat lawmakers filmed a video encouraging soldiers to defy the President of the United States. Folks, that's just not normal. That's not harmless, and that's not responsible rhetoric either. You can't light your own match and then blame the guy across the street because the wind blew your way. So let's put this in context. We've had 2 attempted assassinations of President Trump. The tragic assassination of Charlie Kirk just a couple of months ago. A massive spike in threats against members of Congress. Both parties, by the way. This is nonpartisan. Antifa attacks, campus riots, federal buildings repeatedly targeted, governors and mayors needing security details. The country is tense, people on edge, and everyone knows it. We all recognize this. So when one side tells the military to ignore the commander-in-chief and the other side calls that sedition, and then Democrats pretend only one side is being reckless, yeah, the American people, they see right through that. Let's not forget, for years, Democrats casually used words like resistance, illegitimate, stolen election, fight like hell, take it to the streets. They encouraged protests outside Supreme Court justices' homes. They raised money for bail funds. They excused riots as mostly peaceful. No lectures, please. If we're going to talk about dangerous rhetoric, then let's talk about all of it, not just the tweets you don't like, because here's the bottom line. This country is tired. People like Washington has become one giant performance art piece. And instead of solving real problems, the border, the inflation, crime, foreign threats, the political class is throwing gasoline and shouting fire. We don't need more panic. We don't need more press conferences. We don't need more finger pointing. We need leaders. We need leaders who understand that words carry weight. Every single one of them, whether it's a Truth Social post or a viral video telling soldiers to disobey orders, both sides need to stop treating power like a toy because everyday Americans, they pay the price. When politics becomes a battlefield, we all suffer.